AI copywriting is here, and guess what? It doesn't totally suck. If you're in charge of producing words for your business, you should probably be using it at least some percentage of the time just to make your life easier. There are many different AI copywriting tools, and they're priced anywhere from a one-time fee of under $50 all the way up to thousands of dollars per month. So this is the continuation of my GPT-3 series. If you missed the first video, I'll link to it down below so you can get caught up, find out what we're talking about here. This video is going to be a review of Copy.ai, one of the more popular tools. This one definitely has a larger audience than some of the smaller tools that you'll pay a one-time fee for. So that means that this is going to be a monthly recurring cost. So you can expect probably a little bit higher results out of this. At least that's what I'd anticipate than some of the one-time fees. So we'll be checking into that later on in this series as I look at some of the lower cost tools as well. But I will say before we get into this, I am an affiliate for Copy.ai, but you know what? I'm an affiliate for all the products that I review. I really don't care which one you sign up for. My goal with this series is simply just to illustrate the differences between the tools so you can decide what is the one that suits your needs best, because they're not all going to be the same. They're not all going to be, you might not need the most expensive one. You might not need to create long form blog content. So you could get away with something that just helps you create Instagram captions, whatever it is that you need. That is my goal with this series. All right, let's get into it. Here is Copy.ai. And let me just give you a little rundown of the user interface so you get an idea of what we're working with here. So first of all, at the top of the screen here, you can name your project. So everything inside of this project will have a similar product name and a similar description. And you'll see what that means in a second here. So I'm just going to go ahead and name this. I'll call it Profitable Tools Demo. All right, and then the next thing we want to do is set our input language and our output language. I like how this is front and center on the UI. So I'm just going to leave this at English as the input language and then English American as the output language. But that is nice. You have the option if you want to translate. Let's see, you're not a native English speaker. You could have the input language in Spanish and output it into English, or any combination of those that you like to choose from. There's, I think, about 25 different languages here, so quite a few to choose from. The reason, of course, that there is so many options for translation is not that the Copy.ai folks just did an amazing job of translating everything. No, this is actually a feature of OpenAI's API. They have translation built right into the API. So that makes it really nice and easy. You should see consistency across many of the apps. I would consider this kind of par for course. If something doesn't have multiple language support, that is definitely more of a laziness factor. They just haven't gotten there into supporting the API connection for it. So Copy.ai, I'm happy to say, it does have that support. Back over to Copy.ai, the interface is actually fairly simple to use. We've almost seen all of it already. So over on the left-hand sidebar here, we can choose one of their templates. They're calling them tools. Other tools call them templates. Essentially, it's a way to get specific output out of the OpenAI API. So you can see there's quite a few here. Social ads, we probably have about 10 or 12 different templates. Website copy, we have a lot of different options here. Things like blog ideas, blog intros, outlines, this blog point to paragraph and blog points to blog. That is very interesting. We'll be looking at that later on. We've got some email options here, how to welcome an email, how to follow up with an email, social media content creation, sales copy. This is really important, how well it does things like the AIDA formula or a before and after bridge. We've got other writing tools here, a little bit novel, things like a change of tone. Let's say you're writing something and you feel like it's coming across a little bit harshly. You can put that into the tool here and hopefully it will change the tone to maybe make it a little bit more gentle or more pleasing if that is required for your reading audience. Then we've got some brainstorming tools, kind of, more novel ideas here. How can I name my next product or my next business, startup ideas, and then some personal things, kind of cute ideas down here, like a Mother's Day note, a love letter, resume bullet points, shower thoughts, which I guess is just more for, entertainment purposes. All right, so let's get into it. Let's actually start using the product here. So the first thing I want to look at is how well does this product perform when it comes to writing short form content. So that's going to be things like social media posts, social media ads, product descriptions, and things like that. All right, so let's get started over with a product description. The first thing I need to do is give it some input. Now, if I do a poor job of providing input, you can be certain that the output is also not going to be that optimized. So I want to make sure that I take a little bit of time here and give it a decent amount of information so that the AI can actually extrapolate upon it and give me some useful content out. So under name of product, I'm going to go ahead and call this Profitable Tools Insiders. And I'm going to describe the product as that this is a membership website where you can learn to use the software you need to grow an online business. All right, now if I wanted to get more specific here, I can check this little box and I get some more options that pop open. So I can have a target audience, a special occasion, like if I was running a Black Friday sale is the example they give, or a specific promotion, 15% off. Let me actually go ahead and fill this out with a little bit more information. So for my target audience, I said digital marketers and entrepreneurs looking to start or grow an online business. That is a little bit intricate, and I did that on purpose to kind of see how the AI would react to it. The occasion is a launch sale. So this is a brand new product, launching it, giving a special 30% off discount for life. That is the promotion. So reoccurring fee, you get 30% off for life. All right, let's go ahead and test this out. Hit create. Now it's loading. It says it can take up to 30 seconds. The nice thing about Copy AI is that it is unlimited. So you pay a monthly fee and then you can make as many iterations of the same inputs as you like. There is no upgrade, no word count situation going on here. All right, so here are my outputs. Now I'm going to go through and read some of these. If I find one that I like, I can click make more and it will kind of iterate on that basic idea. I can also heart the ones that I like to save them. They'll show up over here under the saved descriptions. The last one over here is, of course, to copy it to the clipboard. If I were filling out, let's say, like an e-commerce store, I could just copy and paste this over into the product description box. All right, so let's read a few of these. The first one says, Profitable Tools Insiders is a membership website that will teach you how to use software, even if you're a beginner. The site is made up of short video tutorials and guides. It's ethical, and all of the content can be used to build an online business. Take advantage of this launch sale. So there is my promotion, now offering 30% off for life. All right, that's not half bad. It's certainly not the copy that I would want to use, but it's definitely a jumping off point, and it's communicates everything I'm trying to say. Probably not as intricate or as, it doesn't have my brand voice on it, right? So I definitely would have to beef this up, but that is the point of these tools. It's to get you thinking, maybe include some points that you wouldn't necessarily have thought of without spending a lot of time iterating upon the copy. All right, so in general, I think these are pretty decent beginnings to a product description. Now, to be fair, a membership site probably wouldn't have, kind of a standard e-commerce product description. So I feel as though these are coming across a little bit more like the beginning of a sales letter or even just like a Facebook ad. You can see like this one right here particularly stands out. It says, for everyone who wants to learn how to make money online, become a member of this membership site and learn all the skills you need to master these tools or start or grow an online business. I would probably never use anything like that, but it does have kind of that, like we've all seen Facebook ads that are poorly written and look like this. So the internet has enough bad copy. It has enough spun articles and it has enough, kind of bad AI copy out there already. I highly encourage you to use these types of tools, Copy AI, if this is the one you choose, as a starting point, but then definitely give it your own voice. That is how you're actually going to get the most out of these types of tools. But overall, you can see it gave me, I think, 7 different outputs. They're all fairly decent. I would say that I could probably begin to work from any of them. Let's go ahead and just save one of them, and we'll see what that looks like on the other side. All right, I'm going to copy this last one down here, and I'll just save this over to my favorites. Go over to view saved, and you can see here is the saved description. Now, if I wanted to refine this a little bit, I've got a couple options. I could copy it and paste it into my text editor, go ahead and modify it there, or I could just modify it right here. You can see that this is actually a field that I can go ahead and add words to. Some other nice features inside of the app here, I can actually export the text to a CSV file just by clicking this button. I can also create a shareable link. Now, this will be not password protected, but I can create a shareable link by clicking this button, and then I can give a name for the link and just share that with other people on my team. Speaking of team, you do get additional seats with the monthly plan right now. It says limited time 2 free seats. So I would understand that to mean you're going to get your seat plus 2 more. So a team of 3 could work for $35 a month with unlimited content. That is a pretty good deal. Now, this is for the annual pricing, so it's $420 a year. If I switch over to monthly, you can see it is a lot more expensive, $49 a month. All right, let's try a few more templates here. I want to see how it works to create some social media content. So under the social media content creation templates, we've got video titles, launch your product, short text hook, carousel post, captions. Let's go ahead and try this short text hook. Now it's going to leave my product info in here, so I really don't need to add any additional content. I can go ahead and just create right away. Of course, I can change this additional options so that it's specific to that particular post if I want to. I'm going to go ahead and just leave that off for now and hit create. So short text hook, I would take to mean like the headline of a social media post. Let's see what it gives me here. Digital marketers and entrepreneurs looking to start or grow an online business. Try our launch sale, now offering 30% off for life. I mean, gosh, that's almost the entire post, I think. So you're seeing a lot of pretty similar information from what we saw in the product description. This is a membership website where you can learn to use software you need to grow an online business. For digital marketers and entrepreneurs looking to start or grow an online business, try this launch sale. So a little grammatical issue there. Now offering 30% off for life. All right, not bad. These are certainly useful. Again, a nice jumping off point. I was expecting things to be a little bit snappier in terms of less words. Content marketing launch, not probably that helpful. Daily training and tools, again, not that helpful, but that's kind of the word range I was thinking I'd see in terms of a text hook. Usually when I think of a hook, it's something that gets you to continue reading the post. So these seem to actually include almost like a call to action. Just try our launch sale. That's a call to action. So it doesn't seem much like a hook. It just kind of seems like a social media post. Let's try this Relatable Experiences template or tool here. So the idea I had assumed, actually, this is one thing I'd love to see them improve. Explain to me what I should be, looking for in terms of the output. Relatable Experiences. What is your target niche? Now, I don't really know what I'm going to be getting on the other side of this. So what is my target niche? My target niche is, let's say, people who want to start an online business. And now I assume when I hit create here, it's going to give me a list of experiences that we've all gone through when we're starting an online business. That's what I'd kind of assume. Let's try it. All right, so these outputs are not all that interesting to me. It says, when you want to start an online business, when you try to start an online business without any expertise in how such things work, when you get excited about an online business that can make you millions, the friend that always tries to start their own online business and never works. So, I mean, I guess like you could write about that. I think that maybe that's kind of the point. Like we all have a friend who's tried to start an online business. They try for a little bit, it never works out. They quit. And then you could, kind of elaborate on why things fail and maybe turn that into a pitch for your services. So, I can see some ideas here, but it wasn't exactly what I was expecting, right? I was thinking it might be a little bit more fleshed out rather than like my audience is people who want to start an online business. And then like the first output is when you want to start an online business. That's, I could come up with that one. I'm not that slow. I guess this one down here is actually kind of clever. It says, when you feel like your only option is to join the rest of your friends and family in another MLM. That kind of makes me smirk. I feel like I pick on people who are in MLMs a lot. No offense to anyone watching, but it just does seem like a nice, like easy punchline. So you might stir up a little bit of controversy on social media if you do that, because there are so many people in MLMs. So maybe that's a good idea. All right, I'm going to look at one more template here that is related to shorter form content, and then we'll look at some of the longer form content after this. So I'm going over to your marketing angles. I feel like this is a good idea. So different topics that you could then write on if you're writing multiple sales letters, multiple advertisements. What are different angles that you could take with the same product or service that you're trying to sell? Once again, I'm going to go with my Profitable Tools Insider idea here, and I'll describe the product. Okay, this time for the description, I said, learn to start or grow an online business with in-depth tutorials for top business software tools. Create a website, build an e-commerce store, teach an online course, or optimize your existing traffic with our guidance. All right, let's go ahead and find out the different marketing angles it can provide me. All right, here are the outputs. Let's see what we've got here. It says, you don't have to spend months or years learning how to build a website, launch an e-commerce store, or teach an online course. These tutorials combine all of the tips and tricks I've discovered while making these things happen. Okay, so that the angle there would be that you will save time, right? That's kind of what I would expect rather than rewriting what I wrote. Like, let's say the marketing angle is, will help you save time. That would be, a little bit more clear for me if I'm just being like as frank as possible, what I'd hope to see out of this. Learn how to use the top business software tools with Profitable Tools Insider. That's not really a marketing angle, right? We'll show you how to do it. I mean, that's the product description. So you have a resource for anyone who wants to start or grow an online business. Again, not much of a marketing angle. Learn fast from trusted experts and get started creating your online business. So the marketing angle there would be we're trusted. It will help you save time. We show you the tools that successful businesses use. That is another marketing angle. You could take, hey, this is what other businesses like yours are using. We can replicate their success and you can grow your own business. So try them to see which are best for your business. And then down here, this marketing angle is kind of the free content or the free offer type of angle. So they're saying we're going to give away 2 free courses, 9 training options with Profitable Tools Insider, worth over $1,000 in total. So you might be wondering, how are they coming up with these numbers? Well, if you've seen my first video on GPT-3, you'll know that GPT-3 does not actually know anything about facts, and it doesn't make any attempt to go out and fact check any information. So they're just plugging in numbers here. They're just saying, we'll give you $1,000 worth of value. And then it's your job to go in and fact check everything that the AI outputs. All right, so that's one side of the equation, looking at short form content. I would say that the content is pretty good. It's not mind-blowingly amazing here, but it's certainly not garbage either. For the price point, I think we're looking at a pretty decent value so far. The user interface is nice and clean and simple to use. I think it could use a little bit more clarity, maybe a little bit more fairy dust, a little bit more of a whimsical feel to it to make it impressive and more desirable to use. Give me a little dopamine kick as I'm using it. I don't quite get that. It's kind of dry. But overall, we're looking pretty good. Now, like I said, this is only one side of the equation. Let's head back over to Copy.ai and look at creating some longer form content, things like blog posts, sales pages, and that type of thing. All right, let's get back into it. All right, so if I wanted to create a blog post here, let's go over to Blog Ideas. And it's going to have my product description and product name in there already. I'll hit create. All right, I've got some pretty decent recommendations here. How to use productivity tools, what tools should you use to start an online business, how to choose a web designer for your online business, how to build an online business in 4 days, how to write a blog in WordPress in 30 minutes or less, 6 secrets of internet marketing, and how to choose a domain name for your business. I think these are all fairly decent blog ideas. Now, obviously, you'd probably want to do a little bit more keyword research, look at, the other type of websites that are ranking for this content. Are you going to be able to create a post that is actually going to rank for something as popular as like how to start a blog with WordPress? That would be pretty difficult to rank for if you're a brand new website. So this is a great list of kind of possibilities. I wouldn't necessarily just, okay, I'm going to make every single one of them. But man, every one of these outputs is decent. It's reasonable. It's, literate. You can understand what they're saying. So overall, pretty impressed with that output. All right, I'm going to start off by saving this content right here. What tools should you use? A blog on tools to create an online business. All right, I'm going to heart that. And then I'm going to go over to, I'll copy this right here. And I'm going to go over to the blog intro section. And under the short description of my blog, I'm actually just going to paste in that output. All right, there we go. Building an online business, what tools should you use? All right, let's create an output here. All right, so here are our outputs. You can see I've got, again, about 7 outputs, I believe, and they're all fairly decent. Let's take a look at a couple of them. Building an online business can be difficult enough without endless streams of tools and promises to help along the way. There are hundreds of tools specifically for web designers, marketers, social media managers, and more. Some free and some for a fee. Are they truly worth the investment? In this blog post, I will explore the different tools that I've used to help build my own business with a particular focus on web design and marketing tools. I could almost use that without changing anything. That is probably one of the better outputs I've seen out of any of these types of tools. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this right here, and I'm going to heart it so I don't lose it. And let's move through the next step here. So we've got our intro. I'm going to go over to outline here. And I'm going to be using that same blog idea again, this time to output a blog outline. So I should kind of get, kind of like points here that I want to cover inside of the blog. Okay, now I've got quite a few different approaches here. The first one says, what are the different tools that are available? Should you use a free tool versus a paid tool? And what kind of tools should you use? And then you have your takeaway, tools that make it easy to create an online business. Not a big fan of that one. I don't feel like that is focused enough, but I do like the looks of this one down here. So we've got blogging tools, marketing tools, web design, hosting tools. Remember that the topic of this blog was not very specific. It was just, what tools should you use? So you're going to need kind of different types of tools inside of different niches: blogging tools, marketing tools, web design, email management and communication, video production, content management systems, and then kind of a takeaway: what tools you need to run your business and why it matters. This one is pretty good. I think you can make a decent blog post with that outline. Let's go ahead and heart this one and I'll copy it. Okay, so next up, now we've got our outline. The next thing we can do is either go into bullet point to paragraph, which would be like one of these things, or we could do bullet points to blog, which I believe should let me use all of these things to create a blog post. So I'm going to go ahead and go over there. Now, I've got everything kind of laid out here in terms of these will be my bullet points. This is what I'm looking for. And then I've got my blog title is the blog idea that I generated. So really, I haven't written anything so far. Everything has come from copy.ai. I'm simply just moving kind of through the different steps of the templates. It would be really nice if this process were a little bit more connected and automated. I think that would be, it makes sense that I can just copy and paste them between the different steps, but why not have it just walk me through like a process? All right, here's some ideas. Which one do you want to choose? Well, here's your bullet points. Let's go ahead and create paragraphs from that and maybe give me like an entire writing experience. I think that would be a lot better for longer form content. But let's go ahead and hit create here and see what we've got. So this is loading. Again, it's taking, about 20 seconds each time, not quite the full 30 seconds, but it's definitely a little bit on the slow side. All right, so here we go. Now, this is not exactly what I was expecting because I kind of thought I'd see almost like a full blog post, but I guess that is a limitation of GPT-3 at this point. The outputs can only be so long. So we can see that the output here is like starting a blog from scratch can be intimidating, and funding your business can seem like an impossible dream. I've been there and believe the time had come for me to share my knowledge and experience. This is sounding more like an introduction paragraph. Technology has made it so easy to create an online business. It's certainly not creating, it's taking all of the bullet points and then putting it into like a 600 word or so, summary, not a full blog post by any stretch of the imagination. So what you probably have to do here is maybe go through just like one bullet point at a time and then output that. And then you're still going to have to, do a lot of manual writing yourself at this point. So I'm feeling as though when it comes for long form content, Copy AI is kind of falling short for me because there's no way to collect all of these things together into sort of a word processor without just using something like Google Docs in the background and just copying and pasting everything in. But then you kind of lose the AI writing experience here. Let's try some sales copy. Let's go over to the AIDA Copywriting template. That is, a time-tested and continues to convert type of template or protocol you can use with your copywriting. So let's go ahead and switch back here to the Profitable Tools Insider product name. And then for my product description, this is something that I wrote: learn to start or grow an online business with in-depth tutorials. All right, so same as before. Let's go ahead and hit create. So what I'm expecting here from the output is going to be, very clearly distinction between attention, like a headline. Okay, great. That's what I was hoping to see. We've got attention, interest, desire, and action. So you'd obviously remove those and this would read in a way that should draw people through the offer. So as someone who has done professional copywriting before, both as someone who's been hired by brands, hey, write us some copy, as well as just having been involved with other launches where I wasn't necessarily the copywriter, but I was involved with crafting the copy for different brands as they launched their products. I will say that these, first, the headlines, the attention, that's not really grabbing my attention, right? So the main thing with the attention is to get you to read the next section. So attention, learn to start or grow an online business with in-depth tutorials. I'm already sleeping. That's too much. For top business software tools, create a website, build an e-commerce store. I mean, this is basically like the product description we had before, right? not terrible copy, but like it's not going to draw me into, really follow through this process. So even though they say they're using the AIDA formula, it doesn't feel like a true copywriter, anything that someone who's studied copywriting, whether they call themselves a copywriter or not, would say, yeah, this is great. This is going to convert. All right, so a couple of these are a little bit better. We've got insider software tutorials for top business tools used by marketers, web designers, entrepreneurs, and freelancers. That's better. Then I like this one as well. If you want to know how to grow a business, we have training for everything from Shopify and Google AdWords to WordPress SEO. Okay, not great there. Just continuing on here, looking only at the attention section, nothing is pulling me in that strongly. If you want to start or grow an online business, here are the top 5 software tools you must have. Another one, compare this offer with other tools and even read our blogs about how to make money with the tools you are considering buying. That's pretty much just garbage. Doesn't really grab my attention at all. Compare this offer with other tools. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. So now I don't expect any GPT-3 tool to fully understand my product, fully understand my offer, fictional or non-fictional. That's going to be difficult for them to, completely realize. But getting my attention by saying, compare this with other tools, I hope we can do a little better than that, because that's not going to save me any time. All right, on the opposite end of things, let's go ahead and take a look at the call to action here. So here are our best articles. No, that is not a call to action. A call to action should tell me to do something. Here are our best articles so far on how to make money. That's not telling me to do anything. It's just saying, here it is. Action. Click the link above to learn more. That's a call to action. Probably wouldn't convert that well, but it's better than not having anything at all. This one. Go here to get your free membership, and you'll also receive our free email newsletter with regular updates on new tutorials and best practices. That's the best call to action so far. Let's see. Browse our mini video courses at profitabletools.insider.com/product. So I made up a URL here. That's fun. And sign up for a free 2-day trial and click here to learn more about offers. Okay, still all right. Just the call to action just kind of goes on forever. It would be much better if it said, sign up for a free 2-day trial at the website, right? That would be a more desirable call to action. So this last one, or actually the last one I'm gonna talk about, is check out our tutorials. Not good at all. So overall, I don't know that this is gonna be super helpful unless you've literally never done the AIDA format before in the past. All right, so before I move on, I just have to point this out because it makes literally no sense. Do you want to reduce your learning curve and increase your potential income for as little as $10 per month? Sign up now while it's still free. Is it $10 a month or is it free? Make up your mind. So when it comes to long form content, Copy AI is not quite there in my opinion. I'm sure you could write long form blogs from this, but it'd be really a tedious process to continue to make new articles, copy and paste them out into your word processor, revise them, and then go ahead and check them for grammar, check them for plagiarism, and continue on and on. I think it would be easier for me as someone, I'm pretty confident with my ability to write. I know not everyone is, and that's fine. But for me, it'd probably be easier just to take the outline and then go from there manually. So I liked the initial inputs, the shorter form things that we saw. But when it came to actually producing the blog for me, that's just going to fall down there. I'm not super impressed at that point. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and check out how original some of this content is. Is it going to pass the mustard when it comes to plagiarism tests? So to check out the outputs for originality, I'm going to be using Copyscape. This will allow me to make sure that I don't get flagged for any sort of plagiarism. So Copyscape is a paid tool, but it is very, very inexpensive. I think it is 3 cents per search. I am not affiliated with Copyscape in any such way. It's just a really good tool to check for plagiarism. So what I'm going to do is go over to Copy AI. Under my favorites, I'm going to grab, let's say like this blog intro. I've copied this to my clipboard. I'll go back over to Copyscape and I'll paste it in. So of course I could insert my entire blog post here if I'd finished it. I can also use a URL to check for plagiarism in that manner, or I could upload a file. If I'm working inside of Microsoft Word, I could upload the Word doc right here and it could check that. So very, very feature rich, or just makes it easy to get your content checked. Let's go ahead and hit premium search. All right, I got my results back instantaneously. You can see this cost me 3 cents to check 78 words, and there are no results found, which means this is coming up as original content. So that's great. That's what we want to see. Let's check out the product description here as well. I'm going to go ahead and copy this one. check this out in Copyscape. And this is as well coming back as no plagiarism results found. That is ideal. All right, great. All right, so we're just about ready to close out of this review. I just want to go over a few more features inside of Copy AI. First of all, it's the tutorials section. So when you log in, you get this nice welcome video, and this is here all the time on all of the templates. You can always get back to it. It's about a 3-minute video. It just kind of shows you some of the basics for getting started with Copy AI. So that's nice. It was nicely produced and easy to follow. Under tutorials, however, this links me out over to their Copy AI basics, which I guess is fine. There's just a 5-step process here on how to use the tool, which you all already know from watching this video. But if I go back out here to the Help Center, you're going to see that their Help Center isn't really fleshed out yet. And so that is a little bit of a red flag for me. I would love to see a few more well thought out documents, especially since they have this tool to help them write the documents. We've got links for blog posts and product descriptions in terms of like how to do that. It's just basically going to be choose the right tool and then insert the template and you'll get results, right? But when it comes to other things like digital ad copy, website copy, there's not a guide on how to do that. And it would be nice if those were all linked up here. I know they have a very popular, or at least a very well-published YouTube channel. They have a lot of videos on how to use this tool. So it's not like they haven't created the content. They just haven't linked to it on their support settings, which here are some of their trainings. They've got 5 of them linked up here, but there's a lot more on their YouTube channel. Yeah, so just in general, I'd say their support section just needs to be fleshed out a little bit. I did notice earlier, like right before I made this video, that this navigating the playground section was full of lorem ipsum. Now it's totally different. Now it's actually the same article as the how to get better results. You see, it's like the same 1, 2, 3 content here. So they're clearly working on the support section, which is good. That means that they know that's an issue, something they need to improve. So I'm happy to see that. All right, so in conclusion, I would say that Copy AI is a really solid product right now. It's really, really good at doing short form content. I think I'm getting a lot of really usable ideas out of it. When it comes to longer form content, they just need to work out their workflow a little bit, make it easier for me to create a sales letter or a multi-paragraph document. It's just not there right now in the application. So hopefully that continues to improve. When it comes to value and things like ease of use, I would say that it's right where it should be. I think as they increase the ability to create long-form blog content, they could probably increase the price. We've seen other tools do that, much to other people's dismay. But remember that there is a back-end cost to this, that they're using a third-party service to generate this information. So it's going to cost them more the more words that they generate on behalf of their clients. So overall, I think Copy AI is looking like it's probably got a pretty bright future, but we'll be looking at a lot more tools like this throughout this series. So if you're not already, make sure you click the subscribe button down below and don't forget to turn on those notifications so you get notified when the next video in this series goes live. If you want to get in touch with me, hang out in the Facebook group. I'll have a link for that down below. I'll also have a link to grab Copy AI if you want to support the channel. Sign up using our link and we will get a little bit of a kickback. That's going to do it for this review. Hopefully it's been helpful to you. What do you think about Copy AI? How does it compare to the AI writing tool that you might already be using? Leave me a message down below. I try to respond to absolutely everybody, and I'll see you in the next review.